Hello you fantastic people, and welcome back to Borderlands 3, another legendary video for you guys today. And this one is Mayhem for 50 kills on True Vault Hunter mode as well of Katagawa Jr. If you guys are new to the series or new to this channel, first of all, welcome. I have been killing all of the named bosses in Borderlands 3 50 times on True Vault Hunter mode and Mayhem 4. Initially to find all the Mayhem 4 dedicated drops in the game, who drops them and how often they drop them, as well as to compare all the named bosses to see who's the best one, who drops the most amount of legendaries, who drops the most anointed legendaries, class mods, artifacts, etc. So by the end, we'll have a good comparison of all of the best places. Essentially, if you're going for a bunch of legendaries, you go to this place, anointed to this place, class mods, etc. We'll know by the end 100%. And so far it's been pretty successful. We've found about 5, I believe, dedicated drops for Mayhem 4 specifically. If you guys didn't already know, there was new weapons and class mods, etc. added to the game about 2 weeks ago as of the dedicated drops update and the Mayhem 4 update that is specific to Mayhem 4. Can't get on Mayhem 1, 2, or 3, and you can't get them if you don't have Mayhem on at all. And they're actually really decent weapons. Now today's episode is Katagawa Jr. and he's actually the last main boss in the campaign storyline that we're going to be farming 50 times True Vault Hunter mode of Mayhem 4. That doesn't mean the series is over. I'm going to be farming all the named bosses, which includes the crew challenges, the headhunters, and just anyone else I can find in the game. We're going to be farming all of them to find their dedicated loot if they have any Mayhem 4 dedicated loot, and essentially just because I want to cover every single unique, rare, legendary item in Borderlands 3 for you guys, because there is so many ridiculous amounts of amazing weapons in this game. You guys need to hear about all of them. I have been non-stop playing this game since it came out, and every single day someone shows me something ridiculously cool and new, and I've never even seen it or heard of it. And it's just, that's how much stuff is in this game to cover. Now, as for my loadout for Katagawa Jr., he was left to last because he's one of the most annoying bosses, for me particularly in Borderlands 3. Probably right after Troy as my most hated bosses, just because he jumps around too much, he teleports, he goes invisible, and it's just ridiculous to try and get him down if you're not stacked. I'm finally stacked, so it doesn't actually bother me anymore. I got him down in a really quick time, pretty much every single time today. But if you guys would like the fastest way to do it, I tried out a lot of my weapons. Essentially, he has a really good shield in which he regens all the damn time, and then he has just a normal human health bar, red. So by that, you would assume that he would take a lot of fire damage. He essentially doesn't take a lot of damage unless his shield was full to start with. And that sounds confusing, but I'll show you guys the gameplay in a second. As for weapons though, you're going to want something shock. Definitely shock. A high fire rate, decent distance, so submachine gun or assault rifles were my main go-to. My Rowan's Call worked fantastic. I tried out this rocket launcher that somebody gave me yesterday. Really good. I'll show you guys the gameplay in a second, but I tried to shoot that at the start when he's initially doing his little animation thing. After that, entirely useless. It's too slow to actually hit him. This gun is the absolute GOAT SMG. It is part of the new Melee 1 takedown, and I haven't even covered on this channel yet because I actually haven't even completed the Melee 1 takedown, so it's kind of cheating low-key that I have this because somebody dropped it for me, but it is absolutely amazing. So if you guys have this weapon, definitely use it if you're farming Katagawa Jr. It is absolutely fantastic. It has 2 different firing modes, and the electric thing absolutely shreds him because it, one, high fire rate, decent distance, and that damage, 1200 damage per second of electric chance with 22% is really good. My shredder fire also worked long distance, a lot of bullets, and the fire rate on this thing is filthy. My shield is pretty much the same as it's been the entire time, just high capacity. I haven't really bothered changing it to specific boss fights because it's just worked well having a high capacity. As for class mod, I didn't actually bother catering my class mod to it today because I just went in and realized I could kill him really quick, so I didn't actually have to bother doing that. But as for my recommendation, I'd say something high submachine gun damage if you guys have it, or AR damage would work really well. Now as for skill tree, if you guys have seen any of my last 10 videos in this series, it is exactly the same. I worked out my best one that works for me at least. It was essentially just as much damage as I could get out of it for the way I play, as well as high crit damage, and try and get my fadeaway back as fast as possible because that just means more damage again. But yeah, it works really well for me. I won't run through the entire thing, but if you guys want to pause it and check it out for yourselves, you're more than welcome to. It works mint. Now, just before I show you guys the gameplay, I throw this grenade pretty much at the start of all my runs, or I just randomly throw it throughout my runs, because it has a cool anointment on it that is on grenade thrown, weapon, grenade, and action skill damage are all increased by 25% for 6 seconds. This is an amazing grenade. If you guys get any grenade with this anointment on it, it's really cool. I got it on a few now. It's pretty rare. I'm pretty sure it's part of the new update, so it is just coming in the last 2 weeks. But essentially, I throw it just before the start of my runs, switch to my rocket launcher, and at the start of my runs, I think I got probably 5 to 10-ish runs that I just got him down to half health, like full shield gone and down to half health with one shot from the very start of the fight, which is amazing. It has to be timed perfectly, and I actually, after the amount of runs I did, I still didn't work out how to time that perfectly so I could do it consistently. But if you guys want to test that out, work it out for yourselves. It does work rarely, and for the few times that it does work, it's definitely worth. It doesn't really cost me anything to try and get the rocket launcher shot off every time, but I don't think I got any on recording, so sorry. So I'll just have a few runs showing on screen so you guys can check them out at the same time. There are a few things to mention about this fight. The main thing being he seems to take more damage to his health once you let him fully regen his shield, which is kind of weird, but you will likely see it in the gameplay a few times here. Once you let him fully do his shield all the way back up and he spawns his little digi-clones, fakes of him, once you find him and shred through his shield, which isn't too hard to break with a shock weapon, as you're probably seeing in the gameplay, it takes a big chunk of his health out. Whereas if you didn't let him fully regen and you just kept on him all the time and kept trying to do that damage, he doesn't seem to take anywhere near as much health damage. Like you'll see, I shred through him in the gameplay, whereas personally from my experience, if I just try to keep on top of him and just not let him get that regen and just keep trying to do that damage to his health bar, he just seemed to be a bullet sponge and barely take any damage at all. And on top of that, if you guys are paying close attention, you might have noticed that the health bars are kind of broken in this boss fight. The health bar at the top of the screen, the big one, seems to be the one that's actually accurate. But if you actually look at the Katagawa himself with the little, health bar hovering above his head, it always seems to show more health than he actually has by like a quarter or so. So even when you kill him, he seems to have like a quarter health bar left, which is just kind of broken, but just a thing to look out for. But yeah, while you guys are checking out the gameplay of the strat I used to kill Katagawa Jr. on Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode, I will read through the stats for you guys. Today, he dropped 82 legendary items from 50 runs True Vault Hunter mode Mayhem 4, which is not bad. It's pretty average. It's definitely not up there with the best of the best, but then Katagawa Jr., if he was, I'd be really upset because he just annoys me as a boss fight. So look, I'm honestly happy he doesn't drop too many. He's pretty average for the kind of boss that he is. If you guys are looking for the best of the best legendary drop rates, Agonizer 9000 is currently at top of the leaderboard with 157 legendaries after 50 runs, which is pretty mental. Second place, Rampager with 153, and Grave Ward third place with 147. As for the Anointeds, Katagawa Jr. dropped 18 legendary anointed weapons today, which is actually up there with the best of the best, believe it or not. It's been a while since anyone was actually up there. Number one is Troy with 25, so still not beating him. Big Gigamind is 22, and Tyrene with 20, so he's just behind at third place, which is not too bad. If you guys are looking for anointed legendary weapons, I would suggest Gigamind because he doesn't have any immunity stages as Troy and Tyrene do. If you guys like the Katagawa Jr. fight for some particular reason and are completely opposite to me, he's a decent place as well. Look, only 4 behind him. It's essentially who you can kill faster, so you guys can get the most anointeds out of the time you put in. As for legendary artifacts, Katagawa Jr. definitely does fall short, unfortunately, with just 7 legendary artifacts after 50 runs. If you're looking for artifacts, number one place currently is Rampager with 22 out of 50 runs, which is really good. Second place, Tyrene with 19, and third place is still tied between Gravy and General Trout with 17. For recommendations, I would say Gravy and General Trout, even though they're third place, again, they don't have immunity stages. Rampage you can kill really quick, depends on the particular build you guys have. Some people can absolutely destroy him, and some struggle. But the immunity stages, I feel like just waste a lot of time. So depending on how quickly you can kill them for those 3. As for legendary class mods, Katagawa Jr. actually fell even shorter than he did for artifacts, unfortunately. He only dropped 5 legendary class mods, which I think is one of the lowest scores out of any of the main bosses we've tested so far. If you guys are looking for legendary class mods though, the best places out of the ones we've tested so far is definitely Agonizer 9000. He is currently in number 1 spot with 25 legendary class mods out of the 50 runs, which is 1 in every 2, which is like literally filthy. So definitely try him out. He's super easy farm. If you guys haven't checked out the video I made for Agonizer 9000, and definitely check it out. So it'll give you a good recommendation of how to kill him, get him down quickly, etc. The second place is a Rampager with 17, so he's pretty good across the board as well. And third place, Graveward, the original MVP, on 16. Now, as for dedicated drops, Katagawa Jr. does not, unfortunately, have a Mayhem 4 dedicated drop. But to be honest, I'm actually not too upset about that because, again, he does super annoy me. So if they hit something really good in his loot pool, I'd be kind of annoyed that I had to farm him 1,000 times to get it. So rejoice, you guys don't have to farm him if you guys are looking for all the dedicated drops in Borderlands 3. If you guys are stacked, he is a decently quick farm, as you guys saw in the gameplay. But again, he's not particularly amazing at any of the drop rates. He's not up there on any of the leaderboards. So if you don't like him, you don't got to farm him, and I probably won't be farming him in the future. Now, as for the dedicated drops for the guns that were already in the game, I know he does have a few of them. I'm working on making a video separate to this one because I don't want this one to be too long for you guys. I'll cover that shortly in a different video, and it will be up ASAP. Now, like usual, I will have a list pinned to the top of the comment section down below if you guys want to check it out, which will have the full list of the legendaries that we got from Katagawa Jr. 50 runs Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode, all in order, so you guys can check it out down below if you would like. And if you guys are missing any legendaries in Borderlands 3 and you just can't manage to get them because RNG sucks, trust me, I know the feels. It took me like 2 months to get the Trick Unforgiven or the Unforgiven pistol. So I definitely vibe with that mood. But if you guys want to leave a comment down below, if I have any spares of the particular gun you guys are looking for, I am more than happy to add you guys on PlayStation and send them through to you guys because I have a bunch of split screen accounts that are filled to the brim with legendaries from doing all these runs, and my bank itself is filled to the brim at 300. And I don't need them all. So if you guys are missing anything and I have the spares, I'm more than happy to send them to you guys. If you guys are not on PS4, if you guys are on Xbox, PC, or if I don't have the gun, feel free to leave a comment down below anyways, because the Borderlands 3 community is pretty damn awesome at trading and just sending guns for free and stuff like that. So feel free to leave a comment down below anyways, and I'm sure you'll find somebody to help you guys out. But yeah, that is 50 kills of Katagawa Jr. Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to smash subscribe down below. We've absolutely flown as a result of this series, so thank you very much for that. You guys are absolute legends, and this thing is amazing, this YouTube thing. If you guys want to leave a like and share the video, it would help the channel grow even more. I'm actually looking to upgrade the channel as much as possible very shortly. It's Christmas time, and I'm thinking the channel deserves a new PC for streaming and just making high quality videos for you guys. So get keen for that because I sure as hell am. But yeah, other than that, I shall see you guys in the next video, which will be out tomorrow. I'm going to try and make a video either tomorrow or in the next few days, which will compare all the named bosses, all the main bosses that is, in the Borderlands 3 campaign for you guys, so you can see all the stats all in one video, the times it takes to farm, and etc. So you guys can compare them all in one video and make it super easy for you guys. If it's not out tomorrow, it'll be out very shortly. It'll just take me a long time to make that video. And yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.